releasing something to the priesthood. And if we're willing to walk upright, if we're willing to talk upright, if we're willing to be upright, God's trying to raise you up. Somebody say, release me. Something special God's trying to do for his children. Know what you came here to get today? Come on, play, son. We ready. But in Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 2, they asked a question. And he spake before his brethren and the army of Samaria and said, what do these feeble Jews? Will they fortify themselves? Will they sacrifice? Will they make an end in a day? In other words, will they ever get finished with what they started? But here was the question. Will they revive the stones? 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. You also, as lively stones. The enemy wanted to know, would the stone revive? Tell somebody I'm here, ain't I? The enemy wanted to know, could the stone survive? Tell somebody I'm still around, ain't I? Somebody wanted to know, did the stone have life? Tell somebody I'm breathing, ain't I? Somebody wanted to know, could you still build something with these bricks? Tell somebody I'm strong, baby. If somebody wanted to know that you still have enough unction in you to do what God called you to do, tell somebody I didn't give up yet. I might be broke up, but I didn't give up. You might have threw me away, but I ain't gone away. I'm going to be a gnat on your tail. I'm going to be the tick on your neck, because until I get what God has for me, I'm not letting go. I'm not pulling back. I'm not coming up short, because he's releasing something from the priest. The power of God has promoted you from pitiful to priesthood. But now we must understand that our priesthood will come with a responsibility. A responsibility to worship and a responsibility to praise. 1 Peter 2 and 9. Watch what it says. But you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people. Watch this. That you should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness and into his marvelous light. Somebody say cause and effect. See, we desire some things from God, but God desires something from us. He doesn't desire perfection. He just desires willful representation. That you're willing to go forward and tell somebody else, look what the Lord has done. And it's simply marvelous. God has done some incredible things for your life. And I got news. He said that he set some people up on the wall. That means there's angels and intercessors that's praying for us. And there's some stuff that we have escaped that you didn't even know was coming after you. That's the thing that makes me so thankful to God. Of course, I'm thankful about what I know. But what about the strategies of the enemy that I didn't know? What about the things that he was getting ready to try to matriculate in my life that I never saw coming? And God kind of stepped in and interfered on my behalf because I was weak at that moment, because I wasn't paying attention, because I was tripping. But God knew that if he didn't step in, the enemy would kill me. A few weeks ago, we talked about Jesus telling the disciples, go into a town, small village over against Bethany, and you'll find an ass tied. He said, tell the master of the house to loose it, for the Lord have need of it. I need some of you to know that the Lord has need of you, and the Lord will get what he wants. Now, either we can go willingly, or he can drag your tail to the party. Because God said, I want it loosed. And I want to put my glory on it. I want to ride on this thing. Not only so people will see my glory, but some other people will get drawn to it. God is trying to release something into your life that other people might get saved. It's not just so that you can gloat and float, but it's so that God might get the glory out of your testimony. But if you keep your testimony from God, then God's going to keep his testimony from you. And you won't find out what type of healer he is. You won't find out what type of provider he is. But if you're willing to be the priest, there is a release. People on the wall cheering and interceding for you. This is the season of release. Bishop Alvarado said this is not the season that we should repeat and go back through the secular behavior. He said it, but also it's not the season that we should retreat, that we shouldn't be afraid of the enemy and what he tries to bring against our lives. Because if God be for you, who can be against you? And the prophet in Isaiah 62, 6 through 9 in the New Living Translation, he said, O Jerusalem, I have posted watchmen on your walls. They will pray day and night continually. Take no rest, all you who pray to the Lord. Watch this. Give the Lord no rest until he completes his work, until he makes Jerusalem the pride of the earth. The Lord has sworn to Jerusalem by his own strength. Listen what God is saying to you, Jerusalem. I will never again hand you over to your enemies. See, some of y'all don't understand that. I don't know how that just... You'd have thought, leave it up there. You leave it up there. You'd have thought I was speaking in tongues right there or something. In other words, he's saying that if you go back to whatever had you, you went back because you wanted to go back. But I'm releasing power into your life today that you don't ever have to go back. Physically, financially, mentally, emotionally. God is saying, watch what he says. Never again will foreign warriors come and take away what you've sown and what got pressed out of you. In other words, all your seeds gonna bring a harvest. I didn't say some of your seeds. I said all your seeds are gonna bring a harvest. And some of y'all sowed some seed way back when and didn't think it was going to happen because you jacked some stuff up in between. But God said, ain't no foreign warrior go come bother that seed. I had that seed on chill. That's why I brought the snow. I had your seed on freeze. But now it's time for your seeds to come up. Watch this. He said, you raised the grain. In other words, it was your faith on your seed. It was you still believing and trusting God. He said, and because you did that, you're going to get to eat it. You're going to get to enjoy it. You're going to walk in this victory. He said, you're going to do it and you're going to praise me. He said, and it's going to be within the courtyards of the temple. Y'all got to understand something. The courtyards of the temple is not the sanctuary. I'm getting ready to bless you. That folk that ain't saved know that God bless you. It's going to be folk on the outside of the house of God. They're going to recognize God did something for that joker right there. God is blessing them on the outside in the courtyard of the temple. Put the scripture back. You yourselves will drink. Somebody say enjoy. Listen what it says. It says, you yourselves will enjoy, will drink the wine you have pressed. So in other words, I want to talk to priests again, all the people that believe God has called them to be saved. I ain't say called them to preach. I ain't say called them to pray. I said those that God called to be saved. You're supposed to be a priest too. But watch what's getting ready to happen. God is saying everything